At 17, I thought I had life figured out, all because I had a job at McDonald's. I was 17 years old when I got my first job at McDonald's, and I was happier than a welfare head on the first of the month. Back then, it was cool to work there. My people would come through and I'd look out. Free burgers, free shakes. Yeah, I thought I was a shit, but I wasn't your average 17-year-old. I had a good head on my shoulders, and I was focused on stacking my money. I had a goal. I wanted the car of my dreams, a Mustang 5.0, and not just any Mustang. I wanted it black, dark tinted windows, a spoiler on the back, and a system loud enough to blast Jay-Z, Biggie, and Foxy Brown. I had a whole vision for myself. And honestly, I probably watched Menace to Society one too many times, because in my mind, I was just like Kane, riding through the streets, blasting computer love, feeling like I already made it. But real life wasn't about to go the way I planned. Graduation was only about 2 months away, and I was excited. I couldn't wait to walk across that stage and feel like I had finally accomplished something with my life. But before any of that could happen, there was one thing every senior was thinking about: prom. And I already knew who I was going with: Israel. He was the finest thing walking. Medium height, about 5'9", with the prettiest light brown eyes I had ever seen. The kind of eyes most guys wish they had. And yeah, he was slightly bow-legged, but I'm not even gonna lie, that just made him even sexier to me. He was the captain of the football team, played basketball too, had straight A's, and a full scholarship to Howard University. That was his dream school. If you ask me though, he probably just wanted to go for the homecomings. He had plans to go pro in football, and honestly, he was on his way. And I made sure I was going to be right there beside him, even at 17. I knew what love felt like. I knew one day he was going to make me his wife. He told his boys he was waiting on me, and in my mind, I was worth the wait. As fine as he was, he still wasn't out here moving reckless. His boys used to joke with him about being inexperienced. But even with that, he still had respect. Still popular. Still that guy. And somehow, he was mine. And everything felt perfect. Until that day at the salon, the day of prom, I went to get my hair and nails done with Renee and Marie. Those were my ride or die girls. Anytime somebody stepped out of line, they were right there, ready. Some girls tried to test me because I was only 5 feet 5 inches, about 130 pounds. But I wasn't the one to play with. Most girls respected me, and the ones who didn't, well, they usually learned real quick. Some of them hated me though, mostly because of who my man was, but that wasn't my problem. Renee was going with Israel's boy Warren, and Marie was going with Monty. The three of them had the streets and the school on lock, and we were right there with them. At the salon, we were just doing what girls do: talking, laughing, catching up on everything going on. That's when I saw her, Kita. I never really cared for her. She always walked around like she was better than everybody, nose in the air, like she didn't have a care in the world. Don't get me wrong, I'm not a hater. But something about her just rubbed me the wrong way. And my girls, they couldn't stand her. There had been rumors going around about her and Monty. And every time Marie saw her, she was ready. I had to stop it a few times. No point in fighting somebody you already know you can beat. Kita had long hair down her back, always swinging it side to side, and she knew people were watching. As usual, she walked up to me. "What's up, Dee?" That's what my friends called me. Short for Diane. She looked my girls up and down like they weren't even worth her time. Renee laughed it off, but Marie wasn't having it. "Is there a problem?" Marie said. Kita just smirked. Nah, ain't no problem. She sat down next to me like we were cool and asked if I was going to prom. I told her, yeah. We were about to do it big that night. She leaned in closer, and that's when everything shifted. I would go, but I've got something else to handle tonight, she said. I looked at her like, okay, what you got going on? I asked. She leaned in and lowered her voice. I've got some money to make, and I need a partner. That caught my attention, because I was always down to make some extra money. She told me she couldn't stand my girls, but I was different. Said she could put me onto something I never imagined, and make real money doing it. That threw me off. Me and her weren't even close like that, and my girls were already looking at me like I had lost my mind just sitting there listening to her. Why me? I asked. She said she didn't have many female friends, and I was the only one who ever acknowledged her. Said she was deep into something and could use help. I sat there for a minute thinking. Something about it didn't feel right, but something about it made me curious too. So I told her I'd meet her at the mall the next day around 3, and she agreed. And I had no idea that saying yes to her was about to change everything